Live at home with your parents and be happy. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because I want to check out this article from Yahoo Finance. The RBA boss slammed for being out of touch. Well, let's have a look. The head of the RBA said getting a flatmate or staying home with mum and dad can help solve Australia's rental crisis. And I mean, that's sensible, isn't it? The sad thing is some people may not have the capacity to stay at home with their mum and dad or to take a roommate. But, I mean, you've got to densify. You've got to get more people, more family more family members living together. I mean, we've got my sister-in-law, Rachel's sister, living with us as well. And, I mean, she gets cheaper rent. We get the money from her contribution, and it all works out. She gets to spend time with her nieces and nephews more than she ever would. Sometimes probably a little bit too much if she's working a night shift, and the kids are there banging on the bloody bins, waking up. I felt sorry for her, I really did, but it was damn funny. You know, I mean, that's what we're talking about here. Family helping family out. Now, that should be the norm. And I don't really criticize, or I'm on the side of our governor in this regards. You know, you've got to make some changes if you can't afford rent. That's just how life is. So, but let's see. As the housing crisis continues, the head of the Reserve Bank of Australia is under fire today after suggesting Australians should live at home with their parents or get a flatmate to help slow down rising rental rates. The RBA boss, Philip Lowe, who was speaking at the Senate estimates hearing, said there is no immediate fix for the rental market and that not enough homes are being built to keep up with population growth, driving up rent and the cost of living. Yes. Okay, so when you hear the Greens call for rent caps and interventions, they're stuffing up the market. Here in Queensland, they've limited how much a landlord can increase the rent, or how often. But say they want to increase the rent, but you've already increased it within that period, you as a tenant can't even, if you can afford it, you can't even agree to that. You're not allowed. You're banned. So there is an incentive for the landlord to kick you out and get a new tenant in, because then they can charge a higher rent. This is where the government coming in and intervening in the market creates more problems than they try to solve. And the problem is the average punter, they don't think things through to that level of depth. They're just headline followers, to be honest, most of them. And they don't realize that all these things that sound good have unintended consequences and usually lead to worse situations than they had before. It's just bullshit. Honestly, it really is. And it's good to see. He's the fundamental issues are our population growth and our housing. And we're in the middle of a construction apocalypse. I've got another 2 videos here of another builders going under that I haven't even recorded yet to add to the construction apocalypse playlist, guys. It's just going to get even harder and harder to build and to get more supply. It's bullshit. It really is. I'm getting sick of it. Lowe said that rising rents and house prices would prove a deterrent for people wanting to move out from their family home or to live alone, and that more people needed to occupy households at a higher density than the current rate. Yeah, that's true. There's nothing wrong with what he's saying. It's just people are getting offended by it because we've had it so good and a lot of people are spoiled in this country, and I'd say a little bit entitled. We need more people on average to live in each dwelling. The higher prices do that, he said. Higher prices do lead people to economize on housing, don't they? Kids don't move out of home because rents are too expensive, or you decide to get a flatmate or a housemate. Lowe's comments have sparked fears that another rate rise is imminent in June, an outrage from many Australians who are already struggling with their mortgages, rent rises, and cost of living. Many commenters on Twitter suggested that Lowe, who earned over $1 million a year as the head of the Reserve Bank and lives in a 5-bedroom house in the upmarket Sydney suburb of Randwick, where the median house price is over $3 million, should open up his home for a few flatmates. Well, does he have his children living there? That counts. What about family? We had Rachel's father living with us for years with his caravan. My mother lived with us as well while she was downsizing. Isn't that normal? I think people are just jealous of the fact that he earns so much money, which is kind of preposterous for what he does. But I guess, hey, civil servant, guys. So, another decided to place an advertisement for a flat whatever. On Reddit. Reddit. Lowe's comments were described as depressing and out of touch. Why? Why are they depressing and out of touch? If you can't afford to move out, you're young, you can stay at home, bloody well stay at home. Okay? Deal with it. Save money. Do the whole Maccas work till you die gig. I'm referring to the guys who build a property empire working at Maccas, staying at home. As many Aussies describe the already tough conditions they are facing as mortgage holders and as tenants. Parents of kids and young adults blasted the share housing suggestion as impractical and concerned, while those with adult children costs questioned how they could manage the cost of housing family members well into their 20s or even 30s. Well, for the first one, you look at family who are living there. I have 6 children. We're making it work. And if you've got kids in their 20s, you get them to pay rent, to contribute for the food. They should be working, earning money, and contributing. Yeah. We need to adopt some of the cultural norms of many of the other cultures that have come here to Australia about family cohesiveness. We need to this family sticking together. That needs to be the core of your civilization. It's the family. It's not the state. Others said that the huge cost of stamp duty means many Australians are reluctant to downsize and called for a switch to an alternative, such as an annual land tax to allow more homeowners to move to properties that suit their needs. Of course they did. Of course. How about we just get rid of the tax and cull a whole lot of government services that we don't need? Plenty of waste there. Plenty of room to trim up. One commenter wrote, "My dad won't downsize because I'd have to pay tens of thousands of dollars for a stamp. I'm not stupid." He's not wrong. Well, yeah, it is. It does seem like bullshit, when you pay it. Greens leader, here we go. Weighed in on the debate. The housing crisis is pushing more and more people into already crowded share houses. But sticking a bunk bed in your kitchen shouldn't be how you survive a total cooked rental system. In the meantime, as mortgage holders nervously await the next RBA meeting on Tuesday, modelling by RateCity.com showed another 25-point rise would mean the average borrower with $500,000 loan would soon be paying $1,134 more a month. That's a 49% increase in just over a year. Yeah, but it's coming from a low point. Let's talk about this one. I honestly think they're being unfair to Low. I've got his back on this one. If times get tough, you got to adjust. That's just reality. You got to find a way to make it work. You tell me, guys. You tell me. As always, thanks for watching. Check out HeiseBim or Heise Does for other content I create. If you're a fan and want to support the channel, you can do it financially via YouTube or Patreon. Use our referral links via Pocket Squares or call me if you need an architect. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.